And welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of the Lost Podcast of Titan, a father and son journey through a sci-fi series extravaganza, where we look at shit that unites our generations. And I sometimes forget how I'm supposed to say this at the beginning of the
We
episode.
look at shit that unites our generation.
Well, listen. This is your fault, all your fault. You're the one that let me see Terminator, way back when it was inappropriate. You let me see Conan the Barbarian when it was way inappropriate.
But it wasn't shit.
No, it wasn't shit. Well, I'm imagining. I want to find the person who doesn't like Conan the Barbarian.
Oh, I can introduce you to a few.
Yeah, but I don't care about their opinions. You see, I want you to bring these people to me so that I may dismiss them out of hand.
Away, peasant.
Exactly, yes. Where was I? We were uniting generations, father and son, commentary. Yes, we were. So this is the live commentary podcast. We like to watch stuff like we used to do back in the day, in the living room, commenting on stuff as it happens. We invite you to join us. And currently we are still waist deep in our Star Trek original series run. It's been quite a few years since I've actually seen the original series altogether. I was more of a Next Generation kid. That was what was up and coming when I was a youngin'. But I'm not totally unfamiliar. And joined here by my papa.
Yes, you're not totally unfamiliar. I mean, you, after all, taught me that the middle name of every actor who appeared in Star Trek was fucking.
Well, yeah. And you're the one that, seems to insist that these people have jobs and things after and before Star Trek. Like, I don't give a shit.
You might with this episode, but I'll get to that later on.
Ooh. Well, the episode in question, ladies and gentlemen, is A Taste of Armageddon. And I think I vaguely remember this one where it's like the computer is calculating battle damages and people just walk calmly into disintegrators. And I think this is the first episode of Star Trek original series that I saw that actually made me think a little bit. There's the, Balance of Terror, Space Seed. Those are all great episodes, and I love them dearly.
But they were strict entertainment. This episode made you step back a bit and think afterwards.
Yeah, it posed a question, which is probably why I really enjoy the Star Trek series as a whole. With a few series, with some issues, but sometimes they try, and I can appreciate that. It posed a question. What is the acceptable way of doing battle? And I find myself enjoying the concept in other forms, like, for example, robot jocks, which is another one we should probably do eventually, where they settle their wars and disputes through one-on-one mech combat, as real men should. So it's kind of the same concept, but this is taken to a more extreme where, entire civilizations can be kind of wiped out. Well, not civilizations, but cities. But so let's go ahead. Go ahead. What's that?
Just very briefly, I know you turn your nose up at early made-for-television movies, but there was one in the early 70s called The Challenge, where America and China are about to go head-to-head over the possession of a military satellite that's crashed in the Pacific. But then someone comes up with the idea that each country could send a single champion to duke it out on this jungle island.
Uh-huh. Was it done by Steven Spielberg?
No. Thank God.
Did it involve a shitty large truck that could have been avoided by parking for a couple minutes?
No.
Oh, well, then I guess it can go fuck itself.
Okay, well, hey, let's try and do a Star Trek episode here before.
Is it Gene Roddenberry desperately trying to find relevance after doing Star Trek?
No.
No? Okay, then. Well, fuck it. So we're going to be watching A Taste of Armageddon. So if y'all can just go ahead, put us on pause, find your favorite physical media or streaming service to get to the episode at the 00 mark, and come back when you're ready. And welcome back. So let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, play. But actually, I find myself kind of thinking about this episode more and more, where so most of the companies I work for are large, and the human resources departments, just to like get to a live person to look at your resume, you have to get past an artificial intelligence algorithm. And so, I mean, like, I'm not saying that it's as extreme as being escorted into a disintegration room, but
this guy's got creep written all over him.
well, he's taller than Kirk.
He's an ambassador.
I wonder if that's a requirement.
To be a creep?
No. To be an ambassador, like, you can only be taller than Kirk in a shot if you outrank him.
Okay, here we go. They received a code saying that they are under no circumstances are they to approach the planet. And this little wiggler says, well, no, we've got to make contact with that planet.
Why are we... Oh, Lord.
Oh, big man. No, I think Kirk is well within his rights to just...
Yeah.
It's just, we're turning back and going to a star day.
The Galileo 7 episode, isn't that the one where the man in charge was absolutely, completely, and entirely correct in everything he was telling Kirk to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, now we have it in the opposite form.
Right. Ambassadors and Starfleet just don't mix.
Oh, holy shit. We have a non-standard issue yeoman in the background.
Oh, yes, we'll be seeing more of her.
Well, I hope so. But...
Well, I mean, by this time, Kirk has gone through all the blonde yeomans in the catalog, so he has to settle for a smaller, dark-haired yeoman. Bad mistake, Kirk, but, I mean, you might as well be used to that by now.
Oh, Lord. That is weird. I mean, okay, it's not really weird. They were trying to diversify the cast, and I do appreciate it. But it's also weird how it's blonde, 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 Asian.
Yeah. Maybe they had gone through all the blonde background actresses in Desilu, and well, wait.
Oh, are you? That actually probably makes sense.
Yeah, not. I mean, it sounds horrible, but that might have been the actual situation back in the '60s.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that to be mean or anything, because I'm sure she's a fantastic actress. We'll find out more later in the episode, I think.
Yes.
I wonder if she's been in other TV series or movies. Could it be that an actress in a show might want to do some other acting gigs? I don't know. If only there was a way to find out.
Okay, Miko Mayama.
Oh, you're actually looking.
Well, yes. She's been in several romantic comedies. She's been in a John Wayne film.
Which John Wayne film?
The War Wagon.
Oh, I was going to say The Conqueror just to be shitty, but you know.
No. I'm sure you'll have plenty of opportunity to be shitty later on. So. Oh, so
I understand.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I understand that we're at an alert. Why are there security guards? 2 of them flanking the bridge, the turbolift to the bridge.
I don't know. Sometimes they have security guards flanking the turbo lift. Sometimes not. I don't understand why one, or maybe because he's the ambassador on board and Kirk wants to prove that he knows his gingerbread.
Mm-hmm. I had a sneaking suspicion that my Audacity was not recording. I had to check for a second.
Oh.
I was like, I did hit record, didn't I? I don't want to lose all this gold.
I know spontaneity is a sort of hard thing to reproduce.
It is, yeah. Like what? We've had to record Terminator what 3 times? Was it
Oh,
3 times?
don't tell them that. Gosh. We want to try and maintain some form of professionalism.
I think they can figure it out. Oh Jesus Christ!
What's wrong now?
Are these Spacing Guild?
They will materialize there, over by that wall that was used once before in the menagerie.
Wait, what?
Oh
yeah, you're right. You're right.
The,
Okay, yes. The matte painting. I thought you meant literally the wall they were walking past.
No, that's the wall. It was in the menagerie. They're looking at it saying, haven't we been here before? This looks familiar.
Oh, there's the standard issue blonde. Okay.
That's Barbara Babcock. We'll see her several times. In fact, we sort of saw her. She was Trelane's mother in The Squire of Gothos. She will also be in a season 3 episode. She will play the voice of the Beta 3 computer in Assignment Earth, and she will also be the voice of Gary Seven's cat in that same episode.
I was about to say, like, fuck you. We don't have to tell you shit.
Really? I mean, the Enterprise was told not to come, and here they are. This is all on Kirk's head right now for not just telling the security people by the turbo lift door to take this guy and lock him up in his room until we get back to Starbase, whatever.
It's like my annoyance with Star Trek Discovery, where the Federation is basically encroaching on Klingon territory, and the Klingons are kind of pissed off about it. And I'm like, well, yes, they would be. I'm failing to see why the Klingons are the villains here, but then I haven't seen that much of Star Trek Discovery, so. Wait, why is the yeoman with them? Did I miss something?
Standard diplomatic mission. I presume that Kirk thought he might need a yeoman. Plus his back.
What? Give him coffee and food? Rub his back?
Yeah, his back's been feeling kind of poorly lately.
Except his sexual assaults?
Right. I gotta say, landing party rules. I gotta have someone to fondle.
That's not true. He's been on many away missions without someone to fondle, except for Spock, which has spawned quite a few fan fictions.
Yeah, do we really want to go there? But on the episode where he hasn't taken a yeoman, maybe he was assured there'd be some kind of female companionship, quote unquote, on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to go ahead and get it over with, just so you can finish blowing off steam. Anan Seven's played by David Opatoshu, an esteemed actor. He's been in several high-level films. He's played in numerous television episodes. He's one of those actors who likes to work. I try. I know. I want us to be one of those podcasts where we're knowledgeable and such. We're not mentioning a film
where we take a quick glance at the IMDb database
mouth or up some other orifice.
The thing is that I know you're aware of all of this even without IMDb, which is really, really impressive. Because you were doing this shit even before the internet. To our younger audience, there was this time before the internet when you got to be a smartass and know everything. And there was no way to check. But then one day, the son was able to check some shit, and it turned out most of it was right, so he just gave up.
Well, I mainly remember I would be in the living room watching a movie on TCM, and you would come in, look, and see that it was TCM, and you'd ask me, okay, who died today?
Well, yes, because that tended to be how it worked. Oh, some dipshit died. Let's put up their entire catalog.
Actually, that's an interesting idea, transporting bombs right over the target.
It's been done a few times in Star Trek. Also, I'm curious why the yeoman was the one doing the scans instead of Spock.
She had the tricorder.
I wonder why the science officer didn't have a tricorder. And why the yeoman had a tricorder. And why Spock didn't say, "Give me that." Yes, it is. We've just gotten a taste for Armageddon.
Oh, that'd make a great title.
What's that? Sorry?
That would make a great title.
Oh, you know?
Now, here's where we have the problem.
Like, fuck this shit.
I mean, yes, have your computerized war. Have the computers tally up deaths. It's like you're playing a board game on a table.
But why are you going this extra step?
Yes, what is the necessity for the extra step? Why can't you just, have the scores? You could have people, wagering on the outcome and such, like a lottery.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot see the legitimacy of this additional step.
It kind of reminds me of, do you remember the TV series Sliders at all?
I vaguely, wow, that's one of the ones I didn't really get into.
It's pulled right out of my ass. But anyway, there was one episode that I remember where they slid into an Earth that everything was fantastic. There was no overconsumption. Things were cheap. There were like cars you could just use freely. It was like all needs were basically taken care of. And then it turned out that one of the people they had slid into had registered for a lottery where they have like $100 million, and for 48 hours or something like that, they can do almost anything they want. And it's like, I was looking at it, the twist is that at the end of the 48 hours, they're killed, and their money is distributed to their family. And I'm like, but everything is so awesome. Why are people wanting to do this lottery to get money that they won't like? There was no impetus to actually give up your life. You know what I'm saying?
You've read Shirley Jackson's The Lottery? Or maybe you've seen a
yes,
few of the...
I read it regularly. Yes, of course. But why don't you tell our audience, who may not be as well read as I am, the gist?
Well, I would be highly disappointed. Anyway, The Lottery by Shirley Jackson, a classic piece of American fiction, even despite all attempts by certain people to ban it. Have this normal village. Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary, but then these people meet once a year to have a lottery. And the twist is that the person who, quote, wins, unquote, the lottery faces being stoned to death for no apparent reason.
Ooh.
And no explanation or anything was given by that. But I read the story for the first time at a very young age, and my little eyes just about fell out of my head.
It kind of reminds me also of in Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas, there's a shelter where, like for 100 years or something, once a year someone is elected as the overseer, and at the end of their term they are executed, and then the lottery takes place again, and basically their society in that shelter is a form of election where they elect their overseer, but the campaigns are to get someone else elected.
Ah,
And yeah, so they're threatened that if they don't go through with this, then nerve gas will be pumped into the shelter and they'll all be killed. And it ends up everything goes horribly, horribly wrong. There's 3 people left, and they decide finally to just end it, uh, and not elect someone. And then the computer chimes its congratulations that they have decided not to sacrifice one of themselves to save everyone else, which was the form of the test, and that the shelter is now open, and all that such, and they kill each other because of the horror of what just happened.
but in none of these, the I think the thing we're trying to summarize is that any explanations for these sort of policies justification is
Break,
tenuous at very best.
it breaks down. Like, it has to be done really well. Uh huh. There are plenty of blonde yeomen.
Oh, and here's where Scott would really be suspicious.
So this is the second time his voice has been. Oh wait, no, third time that Kirk's voice has been mimicked.
Okay, I'm remembering what are little girls made of. What was the other time?
The other time is with Spock, in the menagerie or
Oh,
cage.
okay, okay.
So why don't they just beam them up?
Good point. They ought to be able to locate their readings on the planet's surface.
Yeah, exactly. And I have to believe in this kind of situation, it's standard procedure that you track your landing party when they land.
Or if it isn't, it really should be.
Exactly. And I swear, like, the more I look at these uniforms, the more I think that the costume designer from Sci-Fi's the Dune series just ripped it off wholesale for the guild.
He went to acting school just so he could stand in front of a door and wear that outfit.
Oh wait, he wasn't in other TV series? Are we sure?
He may be, but I don't have any readings on that as of yet.
Oh. Our audience waits in breathless anticipation.
If I do stuff
Little
like
do we know he was crew member 2 on the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Little do we know he was Ming Guardsman number 4 in The Flash. You look cute, all right? That's your whole job. And carry the tricorder for Spock and perform whatever readings he wants taken. Now that's an interesting lock right there.
Yes, it is. Oh, and that guard,
Yeah.
John
Oh no.
John Burnside, he had minor roles in the films 13 Ghost, Pepe, and Viva Las Vegas with Terry Garr. Yeah.
The early 2000s 13 Ghosts, or is it the original 13 Ghosts?
The original 13
It's
Ghosts.
probably the original 13 Ghosts. Okay, all right. So not the good one. Got it.
Ah! Oh! Wound!
The new 13 Ghosts is actually a cult classic, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about the original.
And I say that it's a cult classic, considering that I remember it vividly in the theater, and I'm like, oh my god, it's a classic. Oh my god, it's almost 20 years old.
And just walk right into it. I'm sorry. Call me, not unpatriotic or anything, but they would have to drag my butt screaming into that chamber.
I mean, at least, okay, if this was a thing, at least do it like Barbarella. And I'm not talking about the Orgasmatron. I'm talking about the three random and exciting deaths.
Next selection.
Next selection. Yes.
When you hear the screaming and such like that when you open the door. Sneak.
Also,
sneak,
why are they doing them one at a time? And why isn't she screaming? If she's this,
good point. Yeah, you want to march into the disintegration chamber so much.
Da-da. Okay. Also, okay. Speaking as someone, who has at least some medical training, it's better for the environment if you bury. Like, you want the elements of the human body to get back into the earth. Well, I mean, maybe you don't need to worry about that anymore. It's an advanced enough civilization.
And a few scenes of random panic.
And someone was told, you're going to sit in this chair behind the actor here and just look into this magic 8-ball with a light inside of it. Look confused, look intrigued. Can I have a line, sir? No line for you.
You got to pay your dues. You got to appear in the original 13 Ghosts, which was the superior film.
Nope, definitely not.
It had Margaret Hamilton in it.
So, who's that?
I will patiently wait for you to correct yourself on that, and before I jump in with claws outstretched, because I know you're really trying to bait me. You know damn good and well.
Again, this is second episode with no Sulu.
He must have been oversleeping a lot during these times.
I guess. Maybe there's an explanation. Let's see. Why is there no Sulu in Space, Seed, and Taste of Armageddon? Ta-da!
Wait, they're sending. They're attacking the Enterprise with sonic waves. Sounds wouldn't propagate.
I know. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. I heard that, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
But I guess they couldn't use heat beams twice in the first season.
What?
Wait, what? You can't fire phasers if the screens are up. Oh, who let him loose? I mean, where are the guards standing by the turbo lift?
Exactly. And look at lanky motherfucker on the left trying not to be lanky.
I will press that button. I will press this
and
button.
This button.
And I get a paycheck.
You back there, face towards the fucking console. You are an extra. And I'll get extra pissy with your ass if you try and get your face on camera.
Well, at least we don't have people wandering aimlessly back and forth on the bridge while all this is going on. Oh, so we're just taking over, aren't we? Huh.
Well, naturally. Okay, now I actually am kind of serious. The guy on the right in Sue's position, he looks really fucking familiar. I'm actually really serious this time. I don't know who he is,
I don't know who he
but
is either. He doesn't um, strike me as I'm not seeing what's really familiar about him, and I have no information on him. I'm sorry, the well has run dry this time.
ta-da!
And why isn't Miss Patriotic? Let's go to the disintegration chamber, not screaming her head off.
She's blonde and she's in thrall with Captain Kirk here. God help her if it was Khan there.
Oh,
Khan could stop this whole war with a smoldering look
and an unbuttoned shirt.
and unbuttoned. Yeah.
Even a non-7 would just swoon.
Wait, is McCoy somewhere in this episode?
Yeah, he
I
was
haven't
just
seen
up.
McCoy.
He was up there arguing with Scotty.
Oh, okay, all right.
In fact, I think the bridge is the only Enterprise set we see in this entire episode. Everything else happens on this planet. Then double up on one of the other disintegration chambers. God, what kind of
Exactly.
what kind
Like
of leader are
put
you?
two in at a time.
Yeah, like the Nazis in the death camps. Just pack them all in.
Oh Lord, that always pisses me off with the Holocaust denial theories.
Oh, that is. Yeah, you just pushed one of my buttons too. That is really.
Yeah, like. So our man on the right hand side has been in some movies. He was even in Get Smart.
Okay, I'm impressed.
And yeah. He was even in wait. Wait. Sean Kinney? That's weird.
Okay, now the name Sean Kenny sounds familiar.
Yeah, it says here he was Christopher Pike in 4 episodes of Star Trek the original series. Or DePaul. He's also in The Cult, Corpse Grinders, 40 Graves for 40 Guns, The Toy Box, How's Your Love Life, The Bloody Slaying of Solera, right? What? Police Story, Slumber Party 57.
You're still off the hook for Margaret Hamilton, though. Oh, you thought you could escape that?
Probably. Is she blonde?
No, I've never seen her blonde. This guy is really pushing for a-hole of the year award in Star Trek.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck you.
My guess is he's trying to rise up through the ranks, and he thinks he can. Thinks this is the way to do it.
It's tragic. The beings on the planet transported him outside of our ship, and he choked in the vacuum of space. It's tragic. It's tragic.
We'll have to go back and get a new diplomat. Oh, can we have Captain Kirk and the others back now? Oh, Scott's shaking in his boots. Oh. There you go. Ooh.
They will figure prominently. Ooh. I don't think you put haggis in a fire. I think you boil it,
Yeah, you boil haggis.
which sounds delicious.
I've had some people say it's horrible. I've heard some people say it's delicious. But I'm not in any big hurry to try it. Oh yeah, I'll drink something offered by a guy who sends his people to disintegration chambers.
Oh, Lord. Just shoot him and go back up to your ship.
Really? Well, first he needs to switch off the attack on the Enterprise. He's throwing around the term murderer a bit too nimbly, if you want my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how often the leading politicians of this planet get sent ordered to disintegration chambers in the event of a war.
Oh, no, no. Okay, now, dear sir, if I was in charge, rest assured, somehow most of the politicians and people in charge would survive. This is probably one reason how this works. And yes, he lost his wife, but I'm fairly certain he has another standard issue blonde that he can get with.
Or in fact, that's the reason he lost his wife. He had
Now, sir, are you implying that some people use... Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. It's tragic. It looks like you were killed in the last attack, but I somehow miraculously survived. I love you and shall love no other as I have loved you. Now, get your shit and get out.
really. There's a disintegration chamber with your name on it out there. Oh, that would be weird if instead of disintegration chambers in certain areas, you have people hauling around portable disintegrators, and they show up at your door with a notice saying, "You have just been killed in an attack. We need you to step into this chamber.
Nope,
Have
nope,
a nice day."
nope. Nope, 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 nope. That's already weird enough, like, before the Troubles. I was watching the Troubles in China concerning the Troubles. And one of the things they had set up was like mobile contamination units where they would basically grab someone with the wild animal leash thing where it's a long pole and a kind of a lasso at the end. And they would force them into basically a plastic box.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was very disconcerting, and I'm like, okay, nope.
Ooh, action.
You could have shot him.
Really.
Shoot, shoot, shoot. You have it, gun, shoot.
And notice our boy
Shoot.
is hanging in the back not doing anything. He's letting the guards duke it out.
Well, of course, he's a councilman. He can't Wait, why are you using the... What the... Why are you not shooting him?
That's a good point. They had him in the clear. They had a clear shot at him.
Several times. So did Kirk. Or take him to the disintegration chamber.
Really. And we're just going to leave that gun on the floor, right? Okay, I guess we won't find out.
Also, I'm curious, if everything's being decided by computers, why do they really need weapons?
Well, I imagine you'd have the occasional person who has a difference of opinion.
Oh, we have a new asshole.
Is this an asshole?
Second class. His name is Rimmer. 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 So it rhymes with scum.
does he think that he achieves some sort of ethical superiority by telling this guy what's going to happen to him?
Well, I mean, he's hoping that the ambassador is more civilized. Also, I like how oh, she's still with them too.
Well, I think it wouldn't have made much sense to have her go wandering around the hallways. Scotty isn't questioning whether or not that's Spock's real voice.
Well, he's not making anything weird. A Poppin' J. Fox? What the fuck?
Poppin' J is a derogatory term. Like simpleton.
Oh Lord, I can see the frayed edges of the not the badge, but the insignia. Oh,
Ooh.
oh. And thus, even more fan fictions were now spawned into existence. The Yeoman's Orders.
Yes.
Chapter 1. 1,200 pages. It's really it's a rich and deep character study.
I'll bet.
Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Ta-da.
Amazing.
Aw.
What you've considered what would have happened if the citizens of Miniar weren't humanoids. That could be, easily blend. They could easily blend in among.
I'm still confused why they didn't just disintegrate him.
I mean, dead is dead.
Seriously.
But I guess they must be merciful, and I suppose the disintegration chambers are. I'm stretching a phrase here. Merciful, just one moment you're there, one moment you're not. It's like entering a transporter room, but there's no reassembly at the other end.
Oh, that'd be weird. So what if? Okay, so the transporter works by converting matter into energy and then energy back into matter. So what if their version of disintegration is basically matter into energy, but they don't reassemble it. They instead use it to power their cities.
Oh, but then they would have to depend upon constant attacks
Oh.
from the other planet to help them provide power for their civilizations. Oh, that. Oh,
Yep. Yeah. You see, I was waiting for you to get there.
okay. This goes on my back burner for a possible future story. Thank you.
You're welcome. I would like an acknowledgement in the foreword, though.
No problem. I could subtitle it, a Lost Podcast of Titans novel. And you can
There we
reach
go.
us at lostpodcastoftitan@gmail.com and tell me how wonderful an idea you think that is.
Yep. You can also reach out to us on Twitter, on Facebook, on that's actually about it. Oh wait, YouTube.
Yes. Oh. Oh! Yeah, that and 25 cents will get you a cup of coffee.
So I wonder if they go with the name Anon so that, it's analogous to anonymous, so that there's no specific name you attach to your council person. It's the title more than anything else.
He's Anan 7, so he's the 7th Anan.
Mm-hmm.
Ha!
Screw you, sir.
Really? In your face? Oh. Oh. Oh, that's pretty good coming from you.
On top of that, like, I really don't give a shit. I want this planet for a port. I don't know if you knew that's why we're here, by the way.
Right, they can just take out the natives and set up their port.
Also, why do they need permission?
Why did they give him a gun?
That too. I mean, they don't have any ships apparently, right?
Apparently not.
They're not a spacefarer. Like, what port are they talking about?
Well, they will build a port. The Federation will build a port.
But they can't dock a ship on the planet.
Well, resupply centers, it's like a star base.
Again, do they need permission?
It would be nicer if they had diplomatic relations with the natives and permission to set up a star base.
Yes, I'm sure it was very nice to get diplomatic relations. I don't see... I'm a very cold-hearted bastard.
We love you anyway.
Yes, and it's a mere 7. That implies that there are at least 6 other planets they could just hang out on.
Oh, Uhura, why are you looking so shocked? You've been listening into every conversation that's happened on that bridge. Ooh, ooh.
Wait, what were the guards doing? Like, the guards were going to help? The guard had an idea? Sir, what if, hear me out, what if we let the hostages go and we don't use computers to, dictate who lives and who dies?
You radical, you traitor, you barbarian. I was going to make you, like a non 7.5.
Wada wada wah, wada wada wah, wada wada wah.
And we've already determined how much of a wussy Ambassador Fox is. Why isn't Anon 7 or one of the guards grabbing at his pistol?
Oh, he learned quickly. He's no longer a wussy.
Ugh. Yeah,
NRA forever. Rabble, rabble, rabble.
I'd love to read that report he's going to submit to the Federation Council.
It's going to feature Scotty prominently.
I tried to fuck up more, but Mr. Scott didn't think that was a good idea. Bastard. See, in 500 years, you would think that either a Mini R7 or Vendikar could have come up with some sort of improvement, that one that didn't involve the killing of civilians.
Exactly.
It doesn't say
like
much.
They could just do the wars where it's like, okay, so you won, you get to rule for what, 20, 30 years, and then we can start the algorithm back up for resistance, etc., etc. I mean, if they're doing this, go all out, but they don't have to kill civilians.
I mean, I hope I'm not wrong, but I cannot see any civilization here on Earth, regardless of how bad things go, that would result in that sort of extreme solution.
Well, sir, we had the gentle, sublime, and reasonable request to just wear masks for a little while and maybe not go to a bar. And that raised so much shit. So I could believe anything.
Okay.
I'm never laughing at a zombie film ever again.
And you
Or
were,
the whole the person's being deliberately stupid to put themselves in harm's way of the monster. No, they are that stupid.
yeah, I just shot your computers.
What if they both lied? What if the Vindicans never actually put any of their people into the disintegration chamber?
That's an interesting point. I mean, how do each planet know that the other planet is complying by putting casualties into disintegration chambers?
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, just you can if that is possible. So why not just eliminate that step altogether, and just mark it as tallies on a scorecard or something? X amount of people.
And on top of that, like what's the point? What is the win condition?
I think that's what Kirk is trying to nail down here: the fact that there is no win condition. They do not provide a reason for.
Yeah, but I'm
war.
like I was thinking maybe they would be able to figure that out themselves.
It's too clean. It's too antiseptic. It's easier to get used to something when all you have to do is throw a switch and the problem is disintegrated, goes away, no more problem.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh, really? Who asked you to speak up, Mr. Loser? But then again, this might be his only way out.
Oh, it would be hilarious if he goes to Vindicar and they
throw him into a disintegration chamber.
Like, according to our records, you're a casualty. I mean, here, come on, we'll just put you in the disintegration chamber now. How about Eminar, you know? They're really slacking on their whole disintegration thing, huh? Let's beam over 2 fusion bombs this time.
Spock, you're an optimist.
And what if the government is purposely scaling back the attacks just enough so that their civilizations don't crumble, but that as a result the war continues on, and that's just how it goes? Like, it would have been a much more interesting episode if the politicians, the council people, were in on it, as they understood the truth of it, but they were doing it to maintain their power.
Yes.
I don't see that as a far-fetched possibility.
No, in fact, I don't see. I mean, what's the assurance? I'm not getting any assurance that the situation. I mean, once the Enterprise leaves, everyone on Vendikar and Mini R7 just go back to business as usual because that's the only thing they've known for 5 centuries.
This isn't the first time Kirk just warps off, leaving a planet in a complete shit show.
Yeah. Well, his job is just to explore uncharted regions and contact new worlds. Nothing in his
And
orders
fuck 'em.
about nothing in his orders say anything about cleaning up the shit show. There's probably a whole division of Starfleet that follows these Constitution class starships, and their job is to clean up the shit show.
That actually would be a cool series.
That would, yeah.
It's like the ship that just follows the Enterprise, and they show up a couple weeks later like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ, Kirk. Da, ba, ba. And that was a Taste of Armageddon. That was pretty good. I mean, weirdness and silliness aside, where I don't think this would actually work. It was a pretty good episode.
I liked it a lot. But I have 2 words.
What's that?
Margaret Hamilton.
Oh, Fine.
Thought you could get past that.
I
huh?
liked her. I liked her in The Wizard of Oz. She was lovely. Okay.
Lovely.
Yes.
Okay, that's a new one.
What?
I've
The Wicked
heard.
Witch of the West was far more believable and trustworthy than the Good Witch of the North. Wasn't that she the
Glinda.
Good Witch of the North?
Glinda
Glinda,
was the
yeah.
good- Okay,
No, but
that's a good question. Say that you got transported to Oz.
welcome to the Lost Podcast of Titan, everybody, a sci-fi podcast. Go ahead. So I've transported to Oz. Here, my eyes are closed. I'm in Oz.
Would you prefer Munchkin Land
Uh-huh.
or the Wiki Land, where the witch holds sway?
Wikiland.
I would have to say that, yeah, Munchkin Land, as it appeared in the movie, a few weeks of that would just about drive me up the wall.
It's horrific. You have the like we have to see if she is morally, ethically, really undeniably dead. Now, on the one hand, I can dig breaking out into song for like the most simple of reasons.
The drop of a hat.
But they did that. But they did that in the Witch's Land as well, and they had a better beat. Like, oh we oh the old rope.
Yeah, so who had a rap song that used that beat as a background?
Probably.
I'll send you the link when I can remember it. But
Rap song.
it's the one that where you go, you're the kind of guy who...
You're the kind of guy.
I'm the kind... It went back and forth. You're the kind of guy who treats her like a punk. Meanwhile, I'm there eating her chunk, or she's there eating my chunk, or they had edited lyrics depending on where it was played. And in the background, you could hear the group going, oh, wee, oh, yo, oh, wee, oh. Whereas you never heard anyone adapting Munchkin lyrics.
This is true. Let's see.
You're the kind.
I don't see it, but this is the sci-fi podcast where my Papa drops hot beats. So. Oh wait. Hold on. Maybe this is it? No, I don't think that's it.
Hold it.
Nope. Oh well, we'll figure it out later. We'll come back to you later, ladies and gentlemen.
It was LL Cool J. I'm that type of guy.
Really? Okay, hold on. LL Cool J. Fucking hell. Papa with the deep cut. LL Cool J. I'm that type of guy.
Okay.
He's apparently an LL Cool J fan. Okay. All right.
Not as such, but that's and I also like the video. It was a good song. It was a good video, and I don't get that quite a lot. Yeah.
Oh, it is. It is. Oh, yo, oh. Okay, all right. But that's not a sample. That's they're redoing the lyrics.
Yeah.
So it's not a sample in the traditional sense.
Okay, but you get my point.
Wait. Hold on. Munchkin rap. Munchkin's the rap parody. Here we go. 1 second. Munchkin's rap song. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Now aren't you sorry you looked?
Oh, no. That's horrible.
Now
It
myself...
has worse sound quality than our podcast.
Now myself, if I was marooned in Oz, I would prefer to live in the Emerald City.
No. The horse doesn't stay a single fucking color.
Okay, it's not.
I prefer my horses to remain stable. Ha ha.
That's not my cup of tea. Horses that change.
Also,
color.
you're living in a city that got hoodwinked by Trump. Okay.
Oh, you're not going to
think
put.
about that.
Wait, no, you're not going to put the Wizard of Oz in the same category.
I can and I will.
No, he
a huckster. He's a huckster.
He's a gentle huckster. The only thing that the wizard,
gentle huckster.
Yeah, the only thing that the wizard ever did wrong, I'm certain, was to maybe steal a pie from a windowsill.
A stop pie from a windowsill. Yes.
He would not hoodwink people out of Amelia. And Lord, this is one direction I was hoping we'd never go. But no.
Regardless.
I'd like the futuristic
the Emerald City
look of the Emerald City.
Also, you couldn't get into the Emerald City.
There's a door.
You would go up to the door and knock on it, and this little shit would pop his head out and go, "What do you want? No one sees the wizard. No one know how."
I could make
which means
slippers.
that the Emerald City had to get its resources by force of arms because they're not an open city, they're a guarded city.
Force of arms.
And who's the one in the area? That would be the Munchkins, which means the Munchkins are the slaves of the Emerald City.
Have you seen the
maybe it was the monkeys from the maybe it's the monkeys from the witches, which means the witch is actually a freedom fighter. Margaret Hamilton, 2024.
Have you seen the weapons used by the quote Emerald City soldiers? That's not much of a standing army.
Emerald City soldiers. Let's see. Oh wait, this is the Wizard of Oz remake where they tried to be dark and gritty. Hold on, let me try and refine the shirt here. Holy shit, there's sexy times in the new Wizard of Oz. Okay, all right. God damn. Hold on. Where the fuck is it? What is this? I don't give a shit about your cookies. What is this? Emerald City, the Wizard. I mean, we got a Daenerys look-alike. What the fuck? Okay, all right. So it's Emerald City TV show?
No, look up Emerald City Guard.
No, I'm looking. Hold on. There's sexy times in the Wizard of Oz now. This is more important. Hold on. Well, where the fuck is this showing? Universal Television. Oh, NBC. So it's censored sexy times. All right, whatever.
No, but
lost interest.
But the wizard was played by Frank Morgan, a character, and I love the way he
character
the wizard.
A character. Mm-hmm.
The speech he gives to Dorothy and her companions at the end is one of the best speeches I have ever heard in a motion picture, and I cannot see Donald Trump, and God forgive me for bringing the podcast to this level, I cannot see Donald Trump saying that hearts will never be practical until they're made unbreakable. No.
Listen, I'm just doing this to rile you up.
It's not me you should be worried about riling up. It's our listeners. I'm sure that most of them, if not all of them, do not come here for...
I'm sure our listeners were just as enthralled as I was at the idea of sexy time, Wizard of Oz, with Daenerys and Game of Thrones type productions, but apparently it's on NBC, so we'll hold ourselves in bated breath.
Right. We'll wait
for the dark and gritty Dorothy.
We'll wait for it to appear on a real television network. But
on a real television network, yeah.
But no, I'm looking at Frank Morgan as the guard to the Emerald City. He's got a rifle. It's got flowers growing out of the barrel. That's not what I consider a militaristic society. Although you apparently can buy a handgun in the Emerald City.
Uh-huh. I always wondered why they didn't just kill the witch. It was just one witch. And her guards didn't seem to be that,
she was
effective, considering a young girl, a tin man, a cowardly lion, and a scarecrow managed to break in disguise.
She was a very powerful witch. The Wicked Witch of the West could take out Darth Vader.
She was very powerful.
The Wicked Witch of the West could take out Thanos.
Yep. Of course. Keep going.
No, I think I made my argument quite clear.
Well, that's our episode of Taste of Armageddon. So we have LL Cool J, Wizard of Oz, And so next episode, it'll be one of our world famous movie commentaries. And I think it's one that you're all familiar with. We are going to see Alien,
Yes.
the haunted house in space.
Booga booga.
Booga 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 with Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
Ah.
And Veronica
But
Cartwright.
we will see you then.
Okay, y'all behave.
Hope you and behave. Enjoy the day. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.